done wrong.
Yeah, tell them.
When I'm feeling all caught up, down and stuck.
What's up? This is a fine Sunday, low key morning. Is it still morning? It's 11 o'clock, 11:04. Yeah, it's still technically morning, late morning on the fine Sunday edition of the Good Morning, Be Hannas. What's up? I'm the host. My name is Nicky Be Hannas. I make music. That's a low-key song. That's How It Goes by Nicky B. Hannas. It's a blues number. You can find my music, which is typically high-octane, hard, heavy rock, heavy blues metal, as I affectionately call it, at nickybhannas.com, nickybhannas.bandcamp.com, Nicky B. Hannas on all streaming services. This is the BS with B. Hannas YouTube channel /podcast, available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, iHeartRadio. I think that's all the major podcast platforms. But you know what? You know what I mean? Everyone's got a podcast these days. So who gives a motherfuck? Nah, I'm just playing. I do. What's up, everybody? Happy to be here. It's a fine Sunday. What I'm thinking about today is the subconscious nature and learned behaviors and responses and all that kind of stuff, man. Like I said yesterday, I took the day off work. Ordinarily, I work Saturdays. I took the day off work for my buddy's daughter's first birthday party. It was a beautiful time. I don't really hold babies, but I got to hold my buddy's baby. That was really cool. She was very happy. Everyone was very happy. It was a beautiful thing to see my man, who I've known for 15 years, played in a band with him for a long time. You know, his wife just looked so happy. It was just a great thing. But I found myself on the way out, man, like I was talking yesterday, I had to go get some mushrooms and lettuce for my burger shop, right? So I just set the whole tempo off. I woke up a little bit late, got going on my walk in the morning a little bit late, which just fucked my whole tempo up. I still did all the things I got to do, and I'm now including this in the things I got to do before I leave my house and go about my business, because I want to build something, you know what I mean? And if you're going to build something, it's brick by brick, dude, piece by piece. Keep adding up. Every little bit adds up, just like every calorie adds up and every gram of protein adds up, every rep adds up. It's all the same. But I was on a faulty start yesterday. So I get there and I get to the burger shop, right? I'm thinking I can just drop my shit off real quick, bang, bang, hit it up, go to the gym, get a good lift in, come back, shower, go about my day. There's like a leak. There's like a leak in the soda machine. So I'm presented with two choices right here. I roll up looking like this, in and out, drop the shit off, and I could look at this big puddle of water and say, you know what? I'm not working today. It's someone else's problem. They'll handle it when they get here. And to an extent, I'd be well within my rights to just do exactly that. But then I see one of my kitchen guys was back there. My man's like working, but not really working, kind of just setting the shit up. All good. Like, not everybody comes in and starts just banging, People have different tempos, and his work is generally always exceptional, so it's all good. But I look at my man making breakfast. My dude is like dipping I don't know what the fuck you'd call it, like some kind of breakfast pastry into his breakfast chocolate drink, coffee, something or other, some kind of mocha. He's like dipping at it and just looking at me. And I'm like, you know what? If I were to walk past this willingly and pawn it off to someone else, that makes me an asshole. So I found myself having to fucking mop a shit ton of water up first thing in the morning. That's okay. I made the right choice, I think. But then it's like now I'm in a rush. Now I'm hurrying up. I got to the gym, dude. I did like maybe 8 quick sets, just superset and bench press and pull-ups. I was like in and out in fucking 15, 20 minutes. And, I was fucking sweating, got my heart rate up, got my chest all pumped up and shit. Worked up to like a 275 single on the bench, and boom, wide grip pull-up, superset. So that's, getting it in real quick. I have to. And at this point, even though reps add up, calorie, like I'm saying, everything adds up as it is. It's more to me like I just got to get up and do these things because it sets my brain right. And if I'm fucking running behind and off schedule and I'm all out of whack as it is, I got to control what I can control, at least in the best way that I can control it, which stands perfectly reasonable. in a logical and rational capacity, right? But then I get, I do that real quick and get home and shower. Then I'm stuck in traffic on the way out. It's like a 40-minute drive. And I'm like, God damn, I'm always late. We had a running joke in the band. We had a running joke in the band where I would arrive on Benny time. The Nicky B. Hannas name comes from it. It's a deviation of my old stage name, Benny Hannas. So as I get closer to my true identity, my name slowly extrapolates into something more like a real name. But I digress. For years, it was like, yeah, Benny time, half hour late, half hour late, half hour late, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, it's a hard thing. It's really, for me, it sounds, when I vocalize it like this, when I put words to it and just describe it, like, yeah, I'm always late. You sound like such an asshole. Yeah, I'm always late. Who cares? Mind your business. It's like, yo, dude, you're a dickhead. So I really struggled with that. And then I found myself, because I was running 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 8 minutes there, scrolling a little bit there, fuck my whole shit up. And then I get frustrated. So I got to lift in. I got the gym. I still hit it up, but for fucking 20 minutes, even if I'm doing more in 20 minutes that some fools do in an hour, that don't really matter because I wasn't super satisfied with that. But that's okay. It's just stuff that's half the reason I do this too. Like I said yesterday, it's classified as, on YouTube, I'm classifying the BS with B. Hannas channel as entertainment. But on podcasts, it's education. Is it edutainment? That sounds dumb. I'm figuring it out as I motherfucking go, just like we all are. But what I'm figuring out is like, man, these little things like that, you can't really fucking beat yourself up about it. You can't really live in that. Because goddamn, dude, this is what's the title today? Subconscious if onlys and what ifs or something like that. I forgot what I titled it, because it lines up with my morning readings. When I first started this last Tuesday, I was up real early, got in it real early, a little bit later the next day, a little bit later the next day, a little bit later the next day. Today is Sunday. Sunday is always my day off of work. I rarely do I work Sundays. You know what I mean? I'll do 6 days, not full 10-hour, 11-hour days every day, but like I work 6 days a week, and then this day I'm always off. And it's ingrained into me, probably from years drinking and having to stay up late, drink heavily, and then sleep in late, recover, groggily get up and fucking, do whatever you do in a hungover state, which thank God I don't get hungover anymore. It's funny, when you stop drinking, you stop fucking getting hungover. But like, I have this deep thing where I sleep late Sundays. And it's a fucking, man, wake up time is something I admire so much in other people. I think that's why I probably talk about it a lot. Getting up early is such a fucking game changer, dude. Now, granted, you got to wake up early and like do things. Waking up early and laying in bed scrolling on fucking Instagram or TikTok or whatever, like that's bogus too. But it seems to me to be a force multiplier generally in being productive. And for me, when I'm productive, I'm happy. Something approximating happy anyway. It's something I'm really fucking focused on, but evidently not focused enough to make a change. But you know what? Tomorrow's Monday. And even though that's a bullshit excuse, I do tend to do well when I can feel the week resolve and say, hey, it's gone, it's over, it's past. Tomorrow I get to start over, and it's a fresh fucking grid to fill in. So I will definitely see y'all tomorrow morning. I'm not going to say what time. I'm not going to say what time right now and fuck myself and play myself up like that, but that's okay. So yeah, today, man, slept in a little bit, putzed around, moving at a slower tempo. Didn't have that go urgency. Threw that weighted jacket on, weighted vest, whatever. Took my walk, came back, did a little more reading than I'm accustomed to, and here I am. Give something to the people. Then I'm going to go hit legs for the second time this week. Maybe, hopefully more than a 25-minute workout. But again, I'll fucking work up to 400, 500 pounds on the squat bar in 20 minutes. So, that's better than fools who do cardio for 20 minutes, warming up to do phone scrolling. That's okay. Now I'm hating. Instead of evaluating. Or am I hating? Am I doing both at the same time? It's an existential struggle for me. In any event, morning readings are pretty good. This is the shit I'm thinking about. Like the subconscious. Like, why do I subconsciously wake up late? Why don't I? Not even that. That's a bad way to frame it. A better way to frame it is what's stopping me in the war of self against self What stops me from just being able to fucking aggressively with high energy and fucking zealousness get up and attack the day? Because it's an attitude thing, you know? And that's really where I'm focused on. I love the quote from James Allen. I was reading some James Allen today, and it's replicated a lot. Wes Watson says this shit a lot. It's like, the world is not as it is, the world is as you are. How you are is what you receive in this world. Things are not reflective of how they are, it's reflective of how you are. And it all is at some level projection. And there's dissonance there. Like, it's hard to say that as actual fact. It kind of gets into the woo-woo magical thinking way of thinking of things. But I attribute that to being in a spiritual perspective, and it stands to things stronger than reason that's true. The world is not as it is as you are. So how I am is what the world is going to, whereas the world's going to meet me where I'm at, unconditionally and always. And that applies to money, that applies to goals, that applies to relationships, that applies to everything. And that seems to be the line that we're walking. So even in doing this podcast experiment, right, it's not so much, now that I figured out, I'm closer to figuring out a formula that at least works for me, that I feel good about doing, where I'm just a dude out here getting after it, man. I wake up, I do my walk, read a little bit, talk to the people. Now I'm going to go lift. Then I go to work at whatever my work is for that day. That works for me. That puts me closer to alignment for me. And it seems to be that alignment with, yourself and your endeavors, having a clear kind of focus that, you're closer to that alignment at least. You still, the world is going to ebb and flow and push and pull. You're going to have to rock with it, rock against it, whatever. But if you're fucking in clear alignment with yourself and what your perceived purposes are, you're going to be doing better off. And this is the shit that I tell myself, having lived a life where I was not, and I attribute that all to, like, I was reading another Norman Vincent Peale book. I forget which one I'm in. He's got a bunch of books and they're all pretty samey, but I like the guy. You know what I mean? He seems like a nice dude. Seems like a good guy that if I was chopping it up on a train going somewhere, or fucking waiting for a bus, or if I just met this dude and was talking with him, he'd be one of those guys I would leave the interaction with and be like, yeah, cool. I'm happy I crossed paths with this guy. But in reading the book today, not the daily one, but another one, he made a point where it's people build cases against themselves, and then they operate within the framework of a case they've built against themselves. And that, just like good habits color your whole day, so does that. If you're guilty, if you're perceiving yourself to be guilty constantly in this case you just live with, and you're going to live that out. Whatever you do is in some subconscious capacity going to live that out, no matter what you're doing. I suffer from that, and it's a hard thing to break from. You got to really change your belief system. Not about politics, not about God, not about the world, not about the economy, not about silly shit like that. Your belief system is going to start with you and how you perceive yourself, the stories we tell ourselves. And, Metallica is a good example, having seen them last week. 72 Seasons is their newest album. And, I love James Hetfield. That dude's a hero, and he saved a lot of lives without realizing it. But when you call your album 72 Seasons, and it's meant to be a nod towards the first 18 years of your life, the formative psychology, the formative imprints that we subconsciously take into ourselves and carry with us the rest of our lives, it seems to me that even if I'm questioning myself as being a well-adjusted, functioning adult, I know for a fact, I've got it better than a lot of motherfucking people out here, dude. Some of that is earned, some of it is blessing, some of it's circumstantial, some of it is unearned, whatever. I'm better off than a lot of motherfuckers out here, but I ain't doing as good as a lot of other motherfuckers too. So what's gumming up the works? What's clogging up the machine? Where does it need grease and maintenance? Where do I have to weed the garden? These things are important. And a lot of it seems to come back to subconscious imprinting and things we've picked up along the way, which informs belief systems that we have about ourselves. Welcome to it. Welcome to the GM with B. Hannas show on the BS with B. Hannas motherfucking YouTube channel. This is what I write my songs about, man. Which you can find at nickybhannas.com, nickybhannas.bandcamp.com, Nicky B. Hannas on all streaming services. This stuff is like the fuel of life. Money comes and goes, you can figure that shit out. And some people it seems to me that some people have figured money out to such an extent that they can borderline just print it from the sky. So if you have the belief that money doesn't grow on trees, or that you got to grind your motherfucking ass off to the bone for it, you're going to live that shit out. So it comes down to what you believe about money. For just as an example, your belief system about money and what success is and what work is and what business is and where do you fall in that whole schematic. It's very interesting. The point of this, hey, shit, I'm just a dude getting after it. This fucking helps me. This helps me a lot, because I feel like I'm doing something. Life is a story and I get to write mine. I write mine through my songs. I get to share them with the world. Now I get to talk a little bit online in the morning. I get to share it with the world. I'm at 16 minutes of sharing with the world on this fine Sunday morning. And I'm pushing my limits. I say 5-10 minutes. Before I was doing an hour. When I was trying this YouTube shit, I was trying the hour-long shows, and I found myself really struggling to put shit out there, really having to reach to find content, Now I'm like, all right, 5-10 minutes, quick, bang, bang, in and out. Shit, my iPhone intro music and a quick plug takes up 2 minutes. So 5-10 minutes, I don't know, whatever. It's all good in the hood. This is the shit that I'm thinking about. And in my readings today, I found some quotes that kind of alleviate to this. I like quotes. Again, that's a big Wes Watson thing. I listen to a lot of Wes Watson on YouTube, among many other people. Like I like to cite my sources. Maybe that's the English teacher in me, the unrealized English teacher that went to college and had the MLA citation for everything that I ever referenced in a paper that was not an original thought. Well, original thought is questionable anyway. We stand on the shoulders of giants in this motherfucker. Anyway, in my readings today, some of the quotes that I found, I wrote down real quick. Like I said, I was reading James Allen. And before I get to Mr. James Allen, there was another thing in that Vincent Norman Peale book that I really liked. The idea of thinking, I'm talking about building a case against myself and unpacking my perception of self and my belief systems about self. And just because that's what I'm thinking about, I'm willing to bet that applies to every person. I'm not unique. None of us are really that special. We are, of course we are. We're all unique and individuals, but we're not special. The human experience is a mutual one. We share this shit, dude. We're all in this shit together, whether we like it or not. And something that he was writing about was how people, when they frame their life as being dominated by their past, and you can hear, if you were to hear yourself in the third person talk about it, people say, if only a lot. If only I'd have done this, if only I wouldn't have done that. In my case, it's like, man, if only I paid better attention in school, if only I listened to what my pops told me a little bit better, if only I listened to what my teachers told me a little bit better, if only I would have applied myself, if only I wouldn't have stayed at that job too long, if only I wouldn't have drank as much as I motherfucking did. I'm especially susceptible to that, dude, which informs the story we tell ourselves. If we switch from thinking in terms of if only to next time, that's a power changer. That's a move differentiator right there. Something like that. String those words. Have fun with those words. That's force multiplier. Motherfucking whatever. But I can't go back to school. I can't, you can't rewrite the shit. So it's stimulating to think about, but only useful insofar as you put that into action. So that's my professional advice. My non-professional advice. I found it interesting. If only versus next time, and how that interacts with what you subconsciously and consciously believe. So that's from Norman Vincent Peale. And I was reading James Allen today too. I got this big ass book right here, right? Mind is the Master. The Complete James Allen Treasury. I love As a Man Thinketh. As a Man Thinketh was a big fucking mover in my interests going to where they're at in terms of, I don't know what you'd call this shit, new age, manifesting, visualizing, new thought, new age. It's whatever. James Allen's a fucking beast, though. I think I'm almost done with his book, From Poverty to Power. Whatever section I was reading today, there were two quotes that really fucking stuck out to me. One is that, this is from James Allen, all failures are apparent, not real. Fucking A. The next one is, the strongest chains of fate by which men are bound are self-forged. Fucking A. That's all. Fucking A to that. That's true. We could riff on that all day. There's hundreds of thousands of people like myself Everyone's got a podcast now. I'm one of them, motherfucker. Keep those things. Now for my book today. This book, Positive Thinking Every Day. I like Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. I'm telling you too, once upon a time, I would hate this shit where it's like, think positively. If you think you can, if you believe you can, then you can. But belief and thinking and faith and all these things, dude, it's, if only I would have taken that seriously sooner. So next time, AKA right now, I got to lean into that shit and really put some fucking thought into it and then live out those thoughts, change the story about myself and fucking get after that shit, dude. Today is June 1st. Happy June 1st, by the way. It's a new month. Here's the quote from Norman Vincent Peale today, June 1st. Every day, remind yourself of your own ability, of your good mind, and affirm that you can make something really good out of your life. Sir, yes, sir. That's what I got for you today. Breaking the 20-minute mark. Spiraling and running late. But it's still morning time. It's not noon yet, so we out this motherfucker. Thank you for listening to the BS with B. Hannas YouTube channel / podcast. This is Good Morning B. Hannas. I am Nicky B. Hannas. I make music on life, all things like that. Heavy blues metal, motherfucker. NickyBHannas.com, NickyBHannas.bandcamp.com, Nicky B. Hannas on all streaming services. You can find this on YouTube at BS with B. Hannas, as well as on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. Want open letter? Nah, what's the outro track? Here we go. I done wrong. Tell you first, motherfucker. Anyway, keep it real. Peace. I still love this song.